Hello, everybody. I'm Candid Frank Stanishi of Candid Frank Live's Open Forum. Welcome to the Spanglish World Network on Zingo TV, channel 250. Please remember to download the Zingo TV app at the respective app stores for iOS and Android devices. While you download, make sure you rate and leave a comment. Both apps are absolutely free. Zingo TV is available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, Fire TV sticks, Roku sticks, and also on all smart TVs 2016 forward. Now, joining me on Open Forum is Alejandro Bratti. Alejandro, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Frank. This is great to be here.
And thank you for making that possible.
No, thank you for inviting me here. I am
You're
really glad
welcome.
to be here.
So we'll start off by saying, and we'll remind people a few times of two different things. One being your book, Believe in Yourself, Believe in Your Business, an interesting book. And of course, that you'll have a show here on the Spanglish World Network at 4 p.m. on Wednesday. So welcome to the group.
Yeah, thank you. This is amazing. Really, something that I was not expecting at the beginning, but I am really happy to be here.
Well, let me ask you. I guess the first question is, I always like to talk to people, ask them about their roots, their beginnings, how they, you were a young man and you had some dreams or some thoughts. How did you grow into the position that you find yourself now?
I was born in Guatemala, born from a mother that is Guatemalan and a father that is Italian. So one thing that I have always in my mind is like being international. It's something that I love, and I always thought that was going to be possible. And even when we were coming from a family that is like middle class family, it's not something that we had everything. We had to suffer a lot of things in that process. But something that I learned really in my journey was to believe in myself, and that's something that I do like all the time. Uh, we decided to use education to help us to grow to the next level in our family. So even in my family, my mother has seven brothers and sisters, and my father has one brother and one sister. Uh, and even with this big family, and my grandmother from my mother's side has like, I believe that I lost the count, but I believe like 30 grandchildren. So it's a big family, and even with that, I was the first person that graduated from university, and that was something huge for my grandfather because he was like, okay, I want somebody to graduate from the school and start to see a different world. So I did that in Guatemala, in computer science. From there, started to work, but not like staying there. But I was always dreaming like, okay, this is great. I am doing a great job here. This is something that I like, but I want to grow faster and I want to go like further faster, and I want to go in the next level. And I don't know what to do. The only thing that I knew is that I needed to continue studying, and I needed to continue looking for new options to open my mind and start to really go to the next level. And that was one thing that I had very clear all the time, and I was doing that all the time.
Yeah, I would. Now, when you were talking about you're a middle class family, that's in Guatemala you were talking about, right?
Exactly.
Now, a middle class family in Guatemala is not the same as a middle class family in North America,
Yeah.
because you sort of hinted at the fact that when you refer to being middle class, probably means you have a place to live and you have enough food on the table, but you're not going on vacations to Paris.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it wasn't a tough life, a hard life, like many other people in Guatemala feel, because unfortunately we in North America we basically, I think, without intention, think of the places like Guatemala and we only see one type of people. We don't see different levels of people. So the only reason I say that is because you were making progress for your family. You said from your grandfather, every parent and every grandparent wants better for their children. Did you feel a lot of pressure, to do well once you got on this, the track to going to university?
Yes, from my mother's side, yes, a lot. Especially because she really dedicated herself to help us to go to the next level. That was something that she couldn't do in the past. She didn't have like maybe the push from her parents and the knowledge of how to do it, but she dedicated like, okay, I have three sisters and myself, and she was like, what I want is to give you exactly what I couldn't have. So I want you to be the best person that you can. All the time that I was at school, I was like being one of the best three in my class all the time. And the reason is this pushing like, okay, you have to be the best one, you have to. And that was something that she was always helping us to have in our mind is, you have to be the best in the area that you are. You have to be like perfect, as perfect as you can. But I agree with you. That's exactly what happened. It's like I was in a middle class that I was not suffering about food, maybe, but of course there was a lot of things that we couldn't have because we were a big family of four children. So really didn't have much to travel or to do other things.
Yeah, the other thing you probably with your mother. Now, by your last name, I assume your mother's the Guatemalan, your father was the Italian. By
Exactly.
Bratti is an Italian name. That's my background. Pensavo che parliamo italiano a questa tella vista, but I guess we'll stick with English.
Yeah, let's speak English.
Let's stick with
I
English.
understand pretty well Italian, but I
but
don't speak too
but the
much.
people who are watching this won't
Yeah,
understand.
I know nobody's going to understand.
We'll do Italian
So,
this week and
ciao.
Hebrew next week. We'll do Hebrew next week. We'll do Italian this week, and we'll be sure to confuse people completely. Yeah, the biggest thing, I guess, for everyone, it doesn't matter. This is something that in every family is the biggest question. The biggest thing that a mother wants for their children, and not that fathers don't, but mothers are more concerned with the opportunities their children have and the opportunities that present themselves. Having an opportunity is very important, isn't it?
Yeah. No, and I agree with you. My father is not that he didn't care, but really he was more focused on providing to the family. So he was not really looking at what was happening to us. Of course, he was listening to what was my mother saying, but the reality is that the one that was pushing, okay, you have to study, you have to do this, you do your homework, understand how to grow in your life, and understand all the things that you are doing was my mom.
Yeah, we have a saying that you may or may not be aware of. It's called "necessity is the mother of invention," and in this case, making progress in your life, in the case of what your mother saw as a necessity, and she saw an opportunity, and speak to the fact that even though you may not, did you feel comfortable making the knowledge travels, right? The travels in gaining knowledge. It's not easy, is it?
Just to let you know, for example, I was like one of the first three in my class all the time during school and high school all the time. But when I entered university, I was in that part of a teenager that I was, even when I knew that my mother was pushing for that, I was like, but I don't need to be doing exactly what she's saying. I am going to do it my way, and started to do this part of like complaining and fighting against the thing that she had. But at the end, I decided, okay, she was pushing and continue helping me to grow in everything that I was doing, and getting the knowledge. For me, I agree with your questions. Yeah, knowledge is something that is not really easy sometimes, but at the same time is something that we are used to be looking for, but we forget about applying sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's what I have found a lot, because there is people like me that it's okay, I love to be knowing more things every day, and I am doing that all the time. But going from there to really applying, it's another game. And that's where really things start to happen.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. In other words, once you start to taste knowledge and learn the benefit of knowledge, you develop a hunger for more knowledge, and
Exactly.
and that's what motivates you. So
Exactly.
let's talk about, how did you get to the point where you felt you could read a book? What gave you the belief in yourself that you could write a book?
I started to talk with a coach. I am a business coach, but I also have coaches that are helping me to continue growing and finding some gray areas that I am not noticing and things that I don't know. And this coach was really focused on these writing books. If you asked me 2 years ago, I was not even thinking about writing any book. Like, okay, I have a life, but nothing interesting for anybody. Like that was my thinking behind that. And talking with him, he started, okay, tell me just your story and tell me what are the things that happened to your life. And I started to bring some of the stories that came to me. For example, one I can say quick one, but I will tell you one story
We got
that,
some time. We got some time. Feel
for
free.
example, when I was working already, I decided, okay, let's move to the next level. And the next level, it was okay, I was a system engineer and I wanted to be like a director or something. And the only way to do that at that moment was, okay, you have to have an MBA. So the option, at least in my point of view and my thinking, so to do that, I started to see like, okay, I can do this in Guatemala and that will be fine. Or I can do that in Costa Rica, and that will give me the access to connect in on the whole Central America. Or I can go to North America, and I can have other point of view in North America. Or I can go to Europe and do it internationally. So I decided, because I have this dream of being international, I want to go to Europe, and but I didn't have the money. I didn't have the The only thing that I had to go to Europe was my passport, the Italian passport. All the other thing was missing, and
Yes.
but I started to have that dream, and I started to think about it, and I started to work on that, and I started to like, okay, how I'm going to do this. I started to learn. I looked for a friend that he did that in Holland, and I like, okay, tell me, what did you do, why you think it's better, what do you think is something that I have to do. And he started to teach me, okay, you have to study this, you have to do this, you have to understand that every school has a ranking, and okay, this is interesting, all the things that, until I decided, okay, I left my job and decided I am going to work on this. I am going to study this, and I am going to be the best one that I can in order to be in one of the best universities that I can. and and I had that opportunity. I applied to a university in Spain. It's one of the top five, I believe, right now, even in right now in Europe and in the world. And when I was like, okay, it's a top five. It's not something that you want to go to any school, but I want to go to that school. Uh, I did my testing, everything. I sent all my information, and you know that all those universities is not something that for tomorrow you have this, so you are accepted because you have the money. I didn't have the money. I didn't have the means to do that, to do everything. But I did something. I decided, Alejandro, you are going to move to Spain because you are going to get that. You are going to be accepted. And I bought a one-way ticket
Before you knew?
before I was even accepted.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Before you knew, you had a reason to go. You went with no reason really. You were just going on the premise that, you know,
And I was going to be accepted one day. I bought a one-way ticket, and I bought a one-way ticket that needed to stop in Miami because I needed to buy my laptop. I needed to buy my clothes because I didn't have clothes to go to the university, to the MBA there, and buy all the things that I thought that I was going to need. So I stopped 1 week in Miami and then to Madrid. The day that I left Guatemala, the university called me. Okay, we need to have an interview in order to know if you are a right fit for us. And I was like, okay, let's have an interview. And I had the interview, and everything was fine. But they don't tell you, yes, you're accepted.
Yeah, yeah.
I went to Miami, I bought all my things, and I was using my savings, my little savings, and I knew that I could live in Madrid like 2 months maybe with the savings that I had, and then I will have to find something, how to continue living there. But I was thinking even like, okay, it's going to be something similar. I lived in Miami for a year, and I was thinking maybe it's similar. Even if I start to work as a bartender or something, it's okay. I can live there, even if it's not the best way, but I can live doing something. And the reality is that when I get to, okay, the day that I left Miami, they called me, Alejandro, you are accepted. So I was in the airplane like, okay, this is amazing. I am amazing. I did the best decision. I did everything was okay. Alejandro, you are amazing. You believe in yourself, and that's why these things are moving around. Uh, the only thing, just as a notice, the only thing that I forgot is that I was in Miami and I was with 100 degrees, I believe, in Fahrenheit, and I was with my shorts. And I went to the airplane very happy in shorts. And being in 8 hours in a plane in shorts is not a good idea. I was thinking that we were even with the window open, at the in the airplane. I was like, okay, this is crazy, but I was freezing there. I got to Madrid. I got them to, and I called them to the university. Okay, I'm here. So tell me what is the next steps. The first thing that I have to ask you is I need my. Are you going to give me a scholarship because I need a scholarship? There is no way that I can join you. And they told me, okay, let's see. Uh, and that was the only thing that we spoke. 1 week later, on a Friday night, they called me, okay, Alejandro, we are going to start the school next week on Monday. You are accepted. Are you going to use your space to enter this program right now or not? And I told them, yes, I want to, but do I have my scholarship or not because I can pay? And he told me, no, we don't have your scholarship. There is no more scholarships. So do you have the money to enter or not? And I was like, no, I want to say yes, but I don't have it. So
Right.
sorry, thank you. And let me see what happens. And the whole weekend I was like, okay, really I understood how the job market was in Spain at that moment. And it was not something that I wanted to really do, like start to work there and see for the future. I really wanted to enter the program at that moment. So I decided, okay, I have to find a solution. I have to find a way to enter. And really, I believe in God, and I started to pray, like, okay, I God give me an answer. I need something. And what happened is He gave me a name. You need to talk with this person.
Who gave you the name?
Like I feel like God gave me a name.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, it's just a feeling at the end. It's not like, okay, God opened the the heaven and
Yeah,
started
no, no, no,
talking.
no. Yes, yes, I understand. I understand. Just trying to.
Yeah, for me at that moment I decided, okay, I will call this person. I called him and I thought, okay, I moved from Guatemala to Madrid because I was thinking that I was going to be accepted at this university. The opportunity came right now. I am accepted, but I need to pay this. And I don't remember exactly the amount, but it was more than 60K. And it's not something that if you are, I was in like 22 or 23 years old, it's not, I don't have anything to offer to them. Like, okay, I offer you that in my future is going to be bright and I'm going to pay you in the future, you know? There is nothing else that I can tell you.
Was there a payment plan that you could do, or was it money they needed to see right away?
Yeah, the problem is that it's in Spain. If I was living in Spain, it's different because I can look for a help in a bank or something. But because I was from Guatemala, I didn't have any opportunity. Of course, I if I had time, I could bring like the acceptance to a bank in Guatemala, and they can process that, and in maybe 1 month or 2 months, they can tell me yes, here is your loan.
But you didn't have that time
I
because you
didn't
wanted
have
to
that
start right
time
away.
exactly.
And you had this voice speaking to you. You had this premonition or whatever, this epiphany. You had this epiphany that presented itself, and you said a name, or
A name,
a
a name,
name
a
popped into
person
your
that I
mind.
can call and I can tell him about this story and see what he can help, how he can help me.
Did you call him?
I call him and he told me I was waiting for your call, you know, and I was like, really? Why? And at the end, he told me, okay, give me a couple of weeks and you will have the money. And
Now,
he believed in me.
did you make a call to your mother to find out if she knew who this guy was? I'm
No.
joking with you. I'm joking with you. But your mo this was a plan your mother had all along. The story ends that your mother's the one who, when you were a baby, would say his name every night before you went to sleep, and then eventually
Maybe, I don't know,
you needed to have a name.
but some way it happened. And at the end, it's more than a name. It was a person that really believed in me at that moment. And
Why did he believe in you? What did he say that made you feel that he truly believed in you?
he didn't
Just
have
the
to say
fact that you
anything. He gave me the money, you know.
Oh,
He
okay.
didn't at the end. And how why you are going to lend a little teenager 60K? The only way is because they believe in you. There is no other way.
Well, that's a very interesting story, I gotta tell you. I mean, there's I think the lesson that I learned from what you're talking about, we talked about opportunity, and it's really about making your own path, right? Controlling your future, you know, making decisions that it's like they say in many different types of things, sports as well, visualizing success. You have to see it. So, in essence, is that basically what really happened to you? Is that you saw your success, you knew which way you had to go, you had a direction, and as you went, the reason you believed was fortified, was enhanced, made you realize that I'm in the right direction. What was that? What did that feel like after he gave you the money? What was the first feeling you had?
I was like in shock, really. The first time that I saw that amount of money in my life, and that I was going to spend it in 1 year in one program, and that I wanted to be like the best one at that moment there. And really, this is the first time that I really shared this story like publicly like this. This
Well, I'm
I
good at
know that
that.
there are some friends that knows about it, but not a lot of friends.
Well, I'm good at that. I'm good at reaching inside people. When we talk about reaching inside people, everybody has, I think, inside them a path or an ability for success, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree 100%.
And part of what your book is about finding that path to success and getting on that path. You know, in other words, getting on the road to success. So that's what made you decide to write the book. I don't know if I missed the answer, but then at what point did you decide I'm going to write a book, and what that book was going to look like?
Okay, I started with this when I started with this story about the coach that I was talking about, and I started to share this type of stories that I had in my life. And I moved 15 times of country the last 20 years. So I have been living in a lot of countries, And part of the thing that happens with that is like you create a belief in yourself that you can move to another country and you can be successful there again. You know, that one thing is that you can be successful here because you are amazing, and that's great, and I believe that. But another thing is when you move to another place and suddenly you have to start again from zero, and that culture, even if they are speaking the same language, it's completely different. People is different, the way they make business is different. So after having this conversation with this coach, he told me, Alejandro, what I hear is believe in you, believe in you, believe in you, and you have been doing and living that all the time. You are being a person that is believing in you all the time, and that's why you are having the success that you are having all the time. So that's the reason I started to write this book about, okay, finally understand that I have a story that people needs to hear and people needs to understand that the first thing to have a business is you have to start with yourself. You have to start with the belief in yourself. You have to understand who are you, what do you want to offer to this world, and you are ready to do it. And when you understand that you have something amazing inside of you, you can start to share it and you are going to be amazing, you know. But the first thing is, what is that belief? And the other thing that I started to understand is, okay, for example, this book I pre-launched it last year on November, and as a pre-launch became a bestseller. So that was something that I wasn't expected either, but it was amazing. And part that I realized after I did that pre-launch is, okay, this is amazing about the thing that you are doing, Alejandro, but I can start to speak with other entrepreneurs that are doing similar things. And I started to do it like, okay, let's interview other entrepreneurs, let's interview other business owners, and start to understand how the belief system that they have helped them become the success that they have right now. And that's something that I started to do, and that's why I connected to Eduardo and started to know about this network that you have here. And what I'm looking for really here with my book and with the program that we are opening here is to listen to those stories and really help people that maybe they don't want to become a business owner because it's too difficult or whatever, start to understand that they have the amazingness inside them and the strength to do it. And the other thing is also, you as a business owner, the beliefs that you have right now created the success that you have right now. But the success that you want to have tomorrow needs, you need to work on your belief system right now, because that belief system is the one that created the success today. But that belief system also is the one that is stopping you to go to the next level.
So we're talking to, for the folks that just joined us, is Alejandro Bratti. And Alejandro wrote a book called Believe in Yourself, Believe in Your Business. He'll be joining us here on the Spanglish World Network on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. What we've talked about till now in the first half hour that we've been here, we talked about Alejandro and his background in Guatemala, his Italian father, and his mother, who believed in him a heck of a lot, who had the support of a mother who, I think, what it sounds to me like, if you were listening or watching till now, she, I think, put in his mind that he could do anything he believes in. And for those of you that uh, don't have somebody that supports you, I would take a deeper look, and I think you'll find that you can find that support within yourself. Now, we talked about you, Alejandro, with your mother's support for you, but the books that you're talking about and the people you're trying to reach aren't just the people who have people, a support system, you know, but also how they can create their own support system. And you talk about a belief system, and basically what you're talking about is people believing in themselves, correct? And
Correct.
to get to that point, believing in yourself is not easy. But what are some of the clues? You know, when one gets on the journey to discover what purpose they have in life, tell us about a journey, and how you see someone starting. Um, you know, obviously, you believe that people are always selling themselves. in different ways. It's not a business or a transactional thing, but people do sell. We're all selling ourselves to people. You meet somebody, you meet a girl, you want to impress her, you want to marry her, so you want to get to know her, so you're selling yourself. So speak to us about selling in the perspective of bettering yourself in the framework of your book.
Okay, something that I found is in myself really is that I didn't know this, but I realized that I hate selling. You know, I was thinking, Alejandro, you don't like the people that is selling, and really you think that they are the worst guys ever because they want you to take your money, take advantage of you. They are, and that was my belief system. uh, that I and that's the reason I was always like in the operational side and making things happen, and even in some marketing side, but not really in the sales side, because I was thinking, no, I don't like salespeople. I Okay, I have some friends, but it's okay, they can do it, but not me. uh, until somebody asked me, okay, I believe that you have an issue with sales, and I was like, why you say that? And I started to realize that's true. And when I started to listen to that, the first thing that started to come to my mind is, okay, I have to challenge this belief. And that was exactly what I was telling you before. It was like, okay, the belief system that I have until now has helped me to get to this point, but if I want to go to a next level, I really need to start to challenge the thing that I am believing right now. And at that moment, I needed to challenge that belief. And the first thing that I started to realize is like, okay, first thing, if you have a wife, when you are going out, who decides where do you want to go? Okay, I know my wife sometimes, and but a lot of times I decide, and I say, yeah. She says, let's go to the movies, and I say, no, I want to go to a restaurant. And we start to talk, and at the end, we decide, okay, let's go to this restaurant because this is something amazing, and I sold that to her. But I was not thinking that that was like part of selling. Or when I have something amazing like this book that I am creating, it's like, okay, suddenly I started to say, everyone around me, okay, you have to buy this book because this is going to be amazing. And even when it's something that it's pre-launch, I know that it's going to change your life because it's still right now it's changing my life, the way that I am working and the way I am doing. So even when I was not really selling, at the end I was selling. So I that was part of understanding how that belief system was stopping me to go to a next level, and how I started to challenge that in order to change and go to a next level. So and that's why I believe really having a coach is important, and especially a business coach if you are a business owner. Why? Because there are some things that you don't know that you don't know, and that's why you are not going to a next level. And that's why you need somebody to listen to you and how your words are affecting you, and that is going to help you to go to a next level. Why? Because they can say to you, stop it, like, okay, that thinking that you have is not helping you. That thinking that you have has to change, and that's part of having somebody to help you to take the best decisions. Why business coach? Because that's exactly what I started to find. One of the things that people was telling to me is like, okay, you start to go up in the ladder of in the corporate business, in your own business, but every time that you grow, you start to feel alone. Why? Because it's you are up, and like all the people that was around you is not exactly knowing what is happening to you. So I want to challenge that belief. You can have a a business coach that is at your side, and is helping you to take the decision that you need to take, and is getting you the insights. But at the end, the good thing about a coach is that the real answer is inside of you, not inside the coach. What the coach does is just understand, read between lines, and start to give you the answer out of that.
Yeah, I think also it's important. Again, we talk about going down the path to success or the road to success. Uh, every so often, you go over a speed bump. In other words, you make the mistake. You make a couple of mistakes. Mistakes don't hurt your progress, right? Everybody makes mistakes. How do you deal with mistakes, in your opinion?
Once again, depends on your belief system. At the end, what happened in the past with you with the mistakes, if you think that those mistakes can put you down and that's your belief, they are going to put you down. They are
So
going to
learning from your mistakes is important. I think.
It's critical, and learning that they are not an issue, they are just part of the journey.
Yes, yes. It's all part of the path to success. Also, I guess speak to the fact that no matter how small a progress you make, how small an advancement you make lots of them. It's like making a big step. So sometimes it's not just about making big steps and progress in your belief system. It's also the little steps you take that accumulate and become a big step.
The way to change your habits and change your behavior and change the things is through little steps, not big steps. Eh, a question to you quickly. If I offer to you $1 million today, or 1 cent that is going to double only for the next 30 days, what do you prefer?
Well, I know this one, so I'm going to say the 1 cent. I know,
But
I know this
really,
one.
people are going to be thinking, why? I want the money now, so I prefer
Yeah.
the 1 million now, and it's ready and it's easy. But 1 cent that is doubling every single day in 30 days, it's like 7 million, 7.5 millions. So, but even if you are with that cent doubling in 15 days, you have like $400 or something like that. It's like nothing, and you're like, okay, but I had the opportunity to have 1 million, and I decided this, and I only have 400. This is not working. My business is not working. The changes that Alejandro is telling me are not working, and nothing is working. No, I have to go back to my life as it was, because I know that that works. This thing that is changing right now is not working.
Well, I think you've just defined the potential for infinite growth. I think it's what you just did. So
That
there's growth that is continuous and forever. It's like real satisfaction, right? We spend a lot of time eating things that give us satisfaction for 2 minutes, but they do us no good down the road. So just like what you're talking about, so it's good to eat well, and to be prepared for doing things that create this infinite growth, this continuous growth. The key to your success, obviously, is giving people insights. What kind of insights can you give people who are looking to be successful, and how do you determine what insights are best for each individual?
Well, at the end, that's something that each individual has to find. What I do is help them have those aha moments for them. And it really depends on the person. At the end, depends. You have one mindset right now that has helped you until now to become the person that you are. And when I am talking with you, you are going to start to tell me, okay, but I believe this and believe this. And or something that happened to me a lot is when you are challenging them, they start to say like, I don't know about this and I don't know about this. And the first thing that I have to say to them is like, stop it. you know, you know, stop saying I don't know, because your words have power. So if you are saying I don't know, you are telling to your subconscious that you don't know, and he is justifying that thing that you are saying. So if you are saying I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, of course you don't know, but the reason is because you are saying it, not because you really don't know.
Yeah, everyone needs positive reinforcement. I guess one has to find uh, the faith in oneself. It's that thing your mother was talking about. You know, she believed in you, so she knew you had all the right answers. You just needed to believe you had the right answers, that you believed that things that were good were going to happen to you, just like that stranger that popped into your head, and it ended up being a great opportunity. I guess the bottom line is success isn't an accident, it's a prediction. And the predictor is the person that you are and who you can be. Correct?
Correct. It's a prediction because you plan and you work on those things. So there is a lot of things, there is a lot of strategies, but the first thing that we need to work with is your mind. Because if your mind is saying no, then it doesn't matter that I present you the best things that all the best companies are doing right now, because your mind is saying no, it's not possible, because it's not me, because it's my the niche that where I am right now, all the things that I am doing are not okay. So if you believe that you can't, you can't. If you believe that you can, you can. So the first thing that we have to be working with is your mindset. How are you thinking and how you are talking to yourself? So out of that talking, you are going to start to see the belief in yourself and how that changes all the game.
We're talking to Alejandro Bratti. He is the writer of a book. And I got to tell you, and of course, you'll also be on Spanglish World on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock. When you talk about listening to people, do you also advise people on the appropriate professional help that they might need?
Of course, if it's something that is bigger than me, because I am not a psychologist, of course, or a psychiatric, and it's the need that they need, of course, that I am going
Well,
to
I
say
mean,
that.
in the business sense, in the actual, like, it's like you offer people the road, to where, for example, where you help people understand how to find a coffee shop on the road, right? It's up to them to get the help or get what they want out of that coffee shop. So do you direct people to help um as well? Do you have advice in that regard, whether it's somebody that, depending on what they do, whatever trade or experience that they're trying to improve on?
One, one thing that I help them is, as a business owner, I help them see the possibilities. And how I do that, I have a roadmap, a call that I do with them, and I show them the roadmap of all the things that we can be doing with them and the strategies that are really working right now in the world and how they can change the game for their business. So, one thing that I found is that there is a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners that are not, maybe because you are involved in your business so much that you are not thinking about like out of the box of how to do things in a different way. So that's exactly where I enter. It's like, okay, Frank, this is amazing. All the things that you are doing, you are amazing because you created all this. But do you know that there are other things that you can start to do and that can change your game and can start to create other outcomes? Do you know that there is more than 100K dollars that are maybe like hidden in your revenue because you are not taking care about those things because of the strategies that you are using? And it's like, oh, really? Show me how, and that's exactly what I do. It's like, okay, I work with your mindset and let's work with the strategies. If your mindset is okay, all these strategies are going to work. Why? Because they work. They have been working for years for in a lot of companies and in different industries. Doesn't matter really the industry, it really matters on the person that is applying them.
Okay, so we're talking. I did a not so good job of describing what I was trying to talk about. I'll try a different way to help
Okay,
continue
okay.
the conversation. You have tools that you're aware of, social media, all this kind of stuff, and there are ways that not every entrepreneur or any wishful entrepreneur or someone who's hoping to be an entrepreneur, they're unaware of some of the streams of that they can uh, hop into to get help and to make their business more successful. How do you express that to them using what's available out there? You show them avenues of success.
I show them how to do it and how it's working in other industries and what are the things that they don't know that right now after talking with me they know. So and how, what is the potential in their business if they start to apply that.
Yeah, so you're able to create a roadmap for their success.
And it's not only the roadmap, but even they can see the numbers, how it's going to affect their business if they start to apply those things in their business.
Well, who doesn't care about their sales and income, right? And that's one way to show them how they're being successful, right? Sales and income. So improving sales, that's another thing that you can help people with. And so, is there something I've missed talking about as far as your book's concerned, and the message that you want to bring out there?
The most important thing for me, what I am getting here, is your belief system is really the one that is going to help you go to a next level, or is going to sabotage you in the process. So that's exactly what I want you to help you, like, and that's why we are opening this channel on Wednesday at 4 p.m. It's going to be to talk about how entrepreneurs and business owners are doing to believe in themselves. And I give you a quick example. In those conversations that I had one person that I was talking from Guatemala, and he was telling me, Alejandro, I started to believe in myself at 7 years old. And why is that? I asked him. At 7 years old, I my mom died, and I went to live with my dad. But I didn't know that my dad was traveling, and he was traveling all the time. So the first week that I was living with him, he was not there. So I couldn't eat anything at 7 years old. So the second week, I decided I need to start to sell something because I want to eat. I am hungry. And he started to sell some things, and he could eat 3 times the second week. And 3 times, we're used to eat 5 times in one day, not 3 times in one week. So it was, at the end, what happened is he started to create a belief system that he can sell and he can eat out of that. And he had 7 years old. And at the end, he told me, and I was asking him, this is amazing. Tell me how you started to sell, because at the end I know that you have to have a pretty face, and you have to be happy, and you have to be like, I am successful, that's why I'm selling you. And he told me, okay, yeah, I created the theory of the clown. Okay, the theory of the clown, what are you talking about? It's like, this is crazy. And he told me, yeah, the theory of the clown. The clown can be depressed, can be sick, can be bad, can be sad, can have a lot of problems. But the moment that he's in front of the customer, he has to make them laugh.
That's important.
And that's a theory of a 7 years old. So I was like, wow, this is the reason I need to be talking with all these business owners, because everyone has a different story, and every story is amazing, and it's helping us to create this belief system, or challenging the beliefs that we have right now. No, I can sell. No, you can sell. The problem is that you are thinking in the wrong way.
Yeah, I'm also getting the impression, having Alejandro, having talked to you, uh, beliefs are central to how you plan your life. Everything here that we've talked about today, it's no coincidence that the book's called "Believe in Yourself, Believe in Your Business." Um, I've heard so many times from athletes visualizing success, people who become successful, visualizing success. Um, I guess if you can see it, you can believe it. So I guess part of your motivation, one of your tools, is to have people see it so they can believe it, right?
Yeah, 100%. That's one of the first things that we need to do.
Absolutely. Listen, I have a real important subject I want to talk about. I didn't really want to talk about all this other stuff. I wanted to talk about something else. Are you willing to change the subject?
As you wish.
Talk to me about photography.
Oh, I love photography.
Talk to me about photography.
Uh,
We only have a few minutes, so we can't go on for another hour. So,
okay, quickly,
no,
I
quickly, a few minutes.
I decided to, like, I don't know, like 10 years ago maybe, I wanted to learn about photography, and what I did is And the reason was because I was going to travel to Africa. And if you are going to Africa and doing a safari, you need to take good photos. so
Agreed.
I decided to learn. I bought the best camera that I can at that moment, and I when I had that camera, I started to, okay, let's take a photo, and nothing was good, like everything was really bad. So I decided, okay, I need somebody to help me to understand how to take a photo out of a DSLR. It's completely different of a cell phone that you just put like shoot and it's okay, and the photo is going to be okay. But learning how to take photos is something very different. So I started to work on that. And I was with a friend. We went together to the safari. We bought the same camera. We went to the same uh, learning process, learning from the same guys and everything. But at the end of the 3 weeks safari time in Africa, he had like 1,000 photos, I believe, and I had 13,000 photos. And I was like, okay, I believe that that's one of the reasons I have better photos, because I was shooting like crazy the
Yeah.
whole day, and he was shooting. So at the end, it's exactly the same in life, in business, in everything. Photo is something that I love to do, and to because the photo that I like is people and animals and landscape. So I love to be in the middle of nature, and that's why I am a photographer too.
Yeah, I know a little bit about photography, very little, but I come from the same school as you. I believe in taking too many pictures because I have learned from the little bit of photography that I've done. The picture that you take that you like the most is the one you didn't know you took.
Mm,
Only after you start looking at all the pictures and you go, because that one's a little bit out of focus. That one is
exactly.
okay, but it's too close. Oh, this one's a little further back because but that's like you said, it's life, right? And what is it that makes people successful? It's trying things. Believing that if we can use the word belief that if you try, you will succeed. Which ultimately, that's why I wanted to talk about the photography because that's what I believe in. If you try taking so many pictures, out of those pictures, you will be successful. You will find pictures that it's easier to. I know this sounds silly, but does this apply? It's easier to find something accidentally because you're looking than looking for it specifically. Do you understand my question?
It's exactly what happened in LinkedIn right now in my work. I decided, okay, Alejandro, this is great. You are connecting with people, but you need to be shooting more, like the photography. So
Yes.
I was connecting with 2 or 3 people, maybe per week or something like that, until I decided, no, I have to shoot more. And I am shooting like 100 messages per day to people. Then suddenly I found Eduardo that way, you know, shooting and shooting and shooting. And suddenly I know that the rejection could be like 60 or 70%. And that's exactly what happened with photography. You
That's
are
all just
taking,
that's all just 70% rejection? That's all you have? I usually have about 95, 99%.
I am having 70%. That means that I have an opportunity with 30%. And that's amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that believing. So Alejandro Bratti, thank you for being with us. I really appreciate you being here. Your book, Believe in Yourself, Believe in Your Business. I hope it has the biggest success ever. And I hope your show on our network here on the Spanglish World, of course, you're going to call it the same name, right? I think that's what Eduardo
Yeah,
said. Believe in yourself, believe in your
that's
business.
yeah.
And you'll be on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock. I really appreciate you doing with us.
No, thank you, Frank. This was amazing.
It was amazing for me too. Alejandro Bratti was our guest. Thank you, sir, for being here. For
Thank
Alejandro
you.
Bratti, and I got to tell you, one thing about when you get to interview somebody like this, and this is my little editorial, the thing that we learned today, if you watch this program, whether you watch the first 5 minutes or last 5 minutes or everything in between, it's about believing in yourself and having the belief and imagining yourself being successful. and also reaching out to as many people as you can to help your business be successful or even your own personal growth to be better. So for Alejandro Bratti, I'm Candid Frank Stanishi. Thank you for watching Candid Frank Live's Open Forum, seen live Fridays at 4 p.m. This show can also be heard on the Spanglish World Radio Network. For Open Forum, other news, entertainment, and sports programming we offer, please check out spanglishworld.ca. Spanglish World. Watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and live it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time.